Hi, it's Rocky Tapscott here from Boaters at Web Marketing and Local Web Solutions, and in this short video I'm going to take you through my customer reactivation strategy that you can use to bring on customers who haven't bought from you in the past, get them buying from you again, or even to activate customers who you have on a database who you haven't been able to convert into new sales yet. The beauty of this strategy is that you can use it with direct mail or with email, depending on the database you have, email naturally being cheaper, but you can use it for direct mail, test it with a small number on your list, and if it works you can roll it out to the rest of your database. You send out 3 slightly different messages. If you're using email, you can send it out every second day. If you're using direct mail, you might want to go a bit longer than that because your postage is going to be more expensive, and you want to see if you're going to get some sort of result from the first message. You'll usually find you'll get 50% of your results from the first message, 10% of your results from the second message, and the other 40% of the results will be from the final message because you'll have a bit of scarcity in there and a deadline. There's a specific sequence in the messages you write, and I'll go through that shortly with you. And this can result in instant cash for your business. The first step in the sequence is to thank your customer for their business. Now, if they haven't done business with you before, you word it to thank existing customers and for people who are on your database, but you want to thank the customer for being there and reading your mail. Then you want to say to them that you haven't seen them in a while. Now, for some of them this is going to be true, others will have just been into your business, but they won't mind because no one sends a letter, and the ones that have just been in to see you are probably going to just read straight over that anyway. Then you want to remind them of the benefits you offer them. For example, you could say something like, if you're like me, I know that as a business owner, you love seeing those checks mount up in your bank account. And you talk to them about the benefits that your service can give to them, whatever that is. If you're a plumber, how you can make their plumbing problems go away, plumbing parts supplier, a real estate agent, whatever you are, tell them about the benefits just to remind them of who you are and why you're writing to them. The next step is to ask them if there's a problem. There may or may not be a problem, but if you get this out in the open here, you can quite often pick up new customers who you've done something wrong to in the past, either inadvertently or even on purpose. Sometimes we have a run-in with a customer and they've not come back to you for some reason, but if you fall on your sword and say, if there's a problem, I'd like to help you fix it, and you address the problem in the letter, because that can bring a lot of people back out of the woodwork into your business. If there is a problem, you want to give them a specific person to contact. You might say something like, I've put Jane in charge of all the customer complaints and handling any issues we've had with customers in the past, and here's her direct line. So you want to give them a direct telephone number to Jane or whoever your employee is, and you don't really want them to call you because they might be intimidated to call you. If you're the person who they've got the issue with, they might just not call you. But if they can talk to someone who's perceived as an impartial third party, like the receptionist or someone like that, and air their grievances, you have a much better chance of them calling Jane or your employee and telling them what's been going on, and then you have a chance to address that. Next part of the letter, you want to reassure them that they are important to your business, and again thank them for doing business in the past or for contacting you or for being on your database, because somehow they got to have you in their life and you want to thank them for being there. The key to making this letter work is you want to make them a killer offer. And this can't be some lame 5-10% discount off thing. This is a customer reactivation strategy. So you've got to think long term. Even if you don't make any money on the front end offer, you want to get them to start transacting with you again, giving you business like they used to do in the past. Because once you get them back into the fold, you can make them offers again and again and again. And then if you're great to them, if you give them good deals and they start to like you again, you can then get them to refer friends. They will refer their friends to you because they feel comfortable dealing with you. And you can sell to them over and over again. So think long term, make them a killer offer. Even if you don't make any money, you know what I mean? Make them a killer offer. Then at the bottom of the letter, you want to send them to a special VIP only page, and you might even call that vip.html at the end of your website domain name. And you put your offer there because it's a special deal only for you guys, only because you're on my database, only because you're existing customers or my prospects. You want to limit the number if you can, or limit the time, or both. So you might say, we've only got 10 of these packages in stock, and either way, we're going to end this in 7 days' time. You don't let it go on for too long. Otherwise, they're going to dilly-dally around and they're not going to go there. So you want to make it urgent for them, especially with email. You can do a 4-day sale in email and make an absolute fortune. You make more in 4 days than you make in an entire month if you structure it correctly. And you make a killer offer, include some bonuses if you want to, anything to get them to reactivate and buy now. So as I said earlier, you send this out as 3 messages. The second letter just references the first letter and restates your offer. So it reminds them. You might include some additional benefits. You might even add a bonus in there if they take you up on it now. And then the third letter has a final notice tone. You don't want to be too heavy-handed with it, but just mention that this is the last time they're going to get it. They're going to miss out. It's going to expire in a few days. You restate the offer and create some urgency. So if you send this out 3 different messages, as I said, the first one will get about half the full sale. So you'll know if you get 0 sales on the first one, you don't want to continue. But if you get 10 sales on the first one, you'll probably get 1 with the second one and maybe 3 or 4 with the last one. So you can sort of test that and see. So you do it with a small part of your database first if you want to just test it and see how the results go. And then if you're happy with it, you roll it out progressively to more and more people. So you can use the first sales to fund the balance of sending out direct mail letters, for example. So that's the strategy. Now, that's all I can really cover in this short video. But if you have any questions, there's a link to a form below this video. Click on that link and put your name and email address in the form and just write to me and ask me any questions you have about using this strategy. I actually have a series of cut and paste templates that have been proven to work over and over again in dozens of different businesses. And some of these businesses have made a fortune sending out these email sequences or direct mail sequences. So if you'd like to learn more about that, so you can just plug a proven, tested campaign into your business, just let me know by using the form you'll get access to from the link below, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. So again, my name's Rocky Tapscott from Local Web Solutions and Beaudesert Web Marketing, and I want to thank you for watching this video.